What's going on, guys? Sorry I've been away for a while. I've been busy. I'm making a new preset pack for cinematic sounds, and I'm also working on a full-length LP and an EP. So, sorry about that. So today, I'm going to teach you how to make a pad. I'm going to start showing you different elements that aren't just dubstep wobs or bass sounds. So I want you to be able to make your own in-between elements, because if you're stuck using somebody else's presets, you really don't have control over your music. So if you can create this stuff yourself, you can really craft your own sound and kind of stand out, because we all know there's like 10,000 of the same producer and everybody's trying to sound the same. And you can get that sound and hit those marks while still kind of sounding different and like yourself. So that's kind of, what I want to show you. All right. So this is called the soul pad, and the whole phrase together sounds like this. All right, so that's the context. So what we're going to do is we're going to solo this. We're going to take the EQ off, and by itself, it just sounds like this. It's very warm, and there's a lot of ring out. Oops. So what I'm going to do is let's go step by step, turn all this shit off, turn the effects off, and we're going to go ahead and start with the basics. All right, so envelope, 1.03 seconds for the attack. Hold is going to be 0 all the way to the left. Decay is going to be 1 second right in the middle. Sustain is going to be all the way to the right, 0 decibels. And your release is going to be 482 milliseconds. All right, so what you're going to do for the waveform, this is how it sounds naked. Yeah, it's all right. So what you're going to do is you're going to set your voicing to 16, and you're going to select through Spectral the Monster 2 wavetable. You're going to have your detune at 0.19. Blend is going to be at 61. Phase is going to be at 175. Random is going to be at 38%. Your wavetable position is going to be 137. And you're going to select FM from B underneath here. And your pan is going to be 0. Your level is going to be at 79%. So that's what we're doing here. That's the first oscillator. Oscillator 2 is going to be the evolution wavetable under digital. And you're going to select the octave to 2, plus 2. Voicing is going to be 16. Detune is going to be 0.25. Blend is going to be 67%. 67. Phase is going to be 180. Random is going to be 28%. Wavetable position is going to be 64. You're going to set this to bend plus minus. That's going to be at minus 27%. Pan is going to be at 0. And your level is going to be all the way to the left. So when I deselect this, it's going to sound like absolutely nothing. Because what you're doing is you are sucking the FM from B into oscillator A. So you're adding a bit of saturation there. Onto the filter. Actually, no, onto the noise. So on your noise oscillator, you're going to go down to in-harm 3. Phase is going to be all the way to the left. Random is going to be all the way to the left. Pitch is going to be at 45%. Pan is going to be at 0. And your level is going to be at 38%. And what you're going to do is take envelope 4 right here. You're going to bring this down because it's going to be here when you start it. You're going to bring it down halfway. Set the trigger mode to off. I'm loving all these fucking help bubbles. Just in case you want to read what everything does, you can freeze frame. The bar is going to be the 2 bars right here. And what you're going to do is you're going to assign that to the level. So this is about at, I'd say 11. You're going to bring it all the way over to 1. So you have a noise kind of bed behind it that sounds like this. Going to bring in A. Going to bring in B. And before we move on to the filter, what I do is I take envelope 1. I don't really have a whole lot more going on here. This is a very easy patch. I take envelope 1, set it to 1/8 rate. I'm going to set it on envelope. It's just going to be kind of one thing. It's not going to keep re-triggering. And I'm going to assign it to FM from B. Has that little bite in the beginning. And you just kind of move that up to from 10 to 12. So now, filter time. Low 24 under normal. What is normal? All right. So I'm selecting AB, noise, and sub. I don't have the sub on, but I just turn everything on because I'm superstitious with all this shit. And Murphy's Law is abundant. And, you know, if you've fucked everything up like I have for years and years, you just kind of cover all your bases. So, cut off to 737 hertz, resonance to 16%, pan's going to be at 0, your drive's going to be at 16%, your fat's going to be at 12%, and your mix is going to be all the way to the right, and this is what it's going to sound like. That's how you get that warmth, because, you know. Yeah, it's approximately there. The amount specifically, numerically, is kind of, you know, it's not that important. It's kind of what your ears tell you. If it sounds good, it is good. And if you find a better way to do it, please, by all means, you probably will find a better way to do it. I'm by no means the know-it-all expert on all this shit, but I'm showing you what I know, and hopefully it helps. So, on to the effects. EQ. Frequency is going to be at 10,398 hertz. Q is going to be at 53%. Gain is going to be at minus 4.3 decibels. Frequency over here is going to be 850 hertz. Q is going to be at 55%. Gain is going to be at 3. So I'm basically just adding a little bite to add presence. So naked, it's like that. With it on, it's like this. Next, hallway. This is a new EQ parameter that they added in the update, which is fucking awesome. The update is sick. They added a few things that are just super helpful. You have more envelopes, you can do more things, and it's just, yo, they did a good job. So, size is going to be 52%. Decay is going to be 5.0 seconds. Low cut's going to be 27%. High cut's going to be 38%. The spin is going to be 42%. Spin depth is going to be 83%. And you're going to set your mix to about 24%. So with that on, you hear that lush ring out that you would get in a reverb. That's half the battle right there. So setting up your imaging and your wavetables and your filtration is where you get the first half of a pad, and then the rest is done through reverb and delay. Doesn't have to be ping pong, by the way. So feedback's going to be 37%. I'm going to set this to 1/4 on both sides. I kind of cut the lows a little bit, you know, I just move it over. I don't want too much low end delay bouncing back and forth. Set it to ping pong. Mix is going to be 28%. You can fuck with this however you want. And this is what it sounds like. Hear that ring out, bouncing back and forth. And that's the sound, everybody. I'm going to take this one step further. This is something I do in my productions. I like automating stuff to open up gradually as the phrase moves on. And so I'm going to show you a little cheat that I do in Logic. So first step, when it's in the mix, I'm going to roll the lows off to about 122 hertz, top end down to about 15K, just getting the dog and dolphin frequencies out of the top and the low end bullshit out of the bottom, because you don't need muck in a pad. The rest you can just tune the way you want. I just cut out like a little bit of the high mids because I don't want my ears piercing, and I cut some of the low mids out because they overload. They all just group up together and they kind of jut out of your mix. I added a sub, right? So the whole phrase by itself is like this. So one thing I do in order to find what I want my parameter to be, hit the A key to bust out the automation window and set it to latch. All right, so I already did this a little earlier, but I want to show you how I do it. So instead of scrolling through all this bullshit to find what parameter I want to automate, I hit the latch option, press play, then I move what I want to be seen in my automation window. See, that shows me what I'm doing. I already had it from earlier, but I had to show you how I find that just because I want you to know. It's a little trick that I use. It saves time from having to like scroll through menus and figure out what all these abbreviations mean because I'm an idiot. I'm just kind of some jock who stumbled into this. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly open up the pad as the phrase evolves. So instead of having it be one sound the whole time, it eventually gains intensity and it just adds a difference to your phrasing. So you're not just listening to the same thing over and over, because what you want to do is you want your listener to not be able to fixate on a loop. You want them to be hearing all these different things all the time. And a lot of it's kind of subconscious, so they're not figuring out the pattern that you do. The more rudimentary something is, the less a listener is going to be interested. So if you have changes and evolving sounds and, I don't really know the wording for it, but if you have nuances in your song that are different and just add elements to keep the listener busy, they're going to be more interested in the music and it's going to sound more complex and it's going to be more professional overall. So what I do is this. And I apologize for my CPU struggling. I need more RAM. It is time. But yeah, so that's how the pad evolves and it opens up. Serum is a huge CPU hog, so watch out for that. And without further ado, that's the patch. And I'm going to give it to you for a free download. Download it, A/B it with what you do. See if you do something better, mix and match. If you went wrong in one way, you can find out what you did differently. And hopefully that's helpful, but it's going to be free. It's going to be in the comments section under the video. So thanks again, guys. And next time I'll be back with some more stuff. So take care. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope that was informative. For more information and videos, swing on by my YouTube channel, and if you want to check out some of my music, come on by my SoundCloud. I'll see you all next time.